Brian, quote, plies them with rum until 5 o'clock in the morning. All of them are absolutely legless. He told me a story about his debut test match that I have to tell you. This will appear in the next magazine. 1992, South Africa and West Indies played each other for the first ever time, and it was the first test after readmission due to apartheid. Played at Barbados, and it was Jimmy's debut. And after 4 days, Jimmy said he was distraught. They were staring down the barrel. South Africa needed 80 odd to win with 8 wickets in hand going into day 5. Brian Lara comes up to him on the morning of the game. He said, Jimmy, we just need 1. And he said, Brian, we need 8. He said, no, we just need 1. So the morning starts. Early on, Courtney nicks off Kepler Vessels. Lara takes a brilliant one-handed catch. Lara comes in, right, lads, it's in, we're done. And Jimmy says, we still need another 7. He said, don't worry about it, we're done. This is what has happened. So Brian Lara, quote, normally comes home from a day's play, goes to sleep, wakes up at midnight, and then hits the road. Mid-test match. So at midnight, 12 a.m., he's gone into this pub in Barbados and found the whole of the South Africa team, minus Kepler and Peter Kirsten, the not-out batsman, and they're celebrating the win. They don't need 8 wickets in hand. They're already celebrating the win. So Brian, quote, plies them with rum until 5 o'clock in the morning. All of them are absolutely legless. They're absolutely loaded. They couldn't function. I'm fielding at Matt Ped and could smell the alcohol. Once we got Kepler, Courtney and Curtly did the rest. What a routine. Knocking off at the end of the day, probably 130 not out, having a kip, getting up, going out at midnight, getting in at 5. Teams used to say, how does he do it? He said, no, he's having more sleep than you lot. He's going home, going to bed for 6 hours, then going out at midnight.